Well, welcome back to Gopher's Workshop. I'm your host, Aaron, and joining me, as always, is my fellow host, Krielsa.
You had to verbally wind up for that?
I did.
Okay.
It's the wind up and the pitch. Ooh. So, Krielsa.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
So, based on some conversations I had, I kind of wanted to start off with a lore thing because I think we've done a lore thing like once.
Yeah, it was Orkies.
Yeah. So, with a lot of the things coming out, as well as general discussions, I think there's some, let's say, confusion. I understand that we're all biased towards like, no, but that's my favorite faction, right?
You're right.
Also, from a lore perspective, everybody thinks they're the good guy. Even the bad guys think they're the good guy, right? Like Horus didn't, for most of his life, didn't think he was a bad guy. He thought he was doing the right thing. He was like, even fighting against the Emperor, most of that was like, until the very end, he was like, no, but I'm trying to prove a point, right? And this is the only way I can prove my point. Now, at the end, he's like, oh, I took it too far. I'm the problem. I get it. But
oops.
So with this in mind, everybody's a good guy. I'm going to, from their perspective, I should say, I even had to make the argument about the chaos gods themselves, right? They're literally like an emotion made manifest. So like if Khorne, the god of like slaughter, okay, if he wasn't...
You about to tell me the god of slaughter is good? All right, I'm listening.
From his perspective, right? Like if he didn't fulfill the thing that makes him literally exist, then he wouldn't exist. So he's fulfilling his purpose. I'm not saying he's a good guy, but I'm saying he is fulfilling his, like, let's say cosmic purpose. We're not like reading the stars here, but okay, so from his perspective, he's like doing his job quite literally. That makes him not necessarily the bad guy. Not the good guy, but not necessarily the bad guy, right?
Oh my God. The god of slaughter is a good guy.
From his perspective, he's like, no, literally.
I did my job, so I'm a good guy.
I have a job to do. I have completed my job. Right? I am the manifestation of people's emotions for the want of this thing. I am fulfilling their like emotional desires. That's literally what he's doing. Right? We even joke all the time about Nurgle and how he's like just this big child of like, no, I want to make everyone never die. That's like, look, I'm helping. Okay, no, they're all dead on the outside, just not the inside, but they're still dead, right? So like, again, from almost everyone's perspective, they think they're the good guy, but they're not. And this is true with the real world as well, right? Like, I'm not saying Stalin was a good guy, but from his perspective, he thought he was like, I'm fixing problems. It turns out he's making problems, but he thought he was doing something reasonable. So, okay. So all that being said, everyone thinks they're the good guy. Then we acknowledge the reality of the situation, outside perspective. Fucking everybody's the bad guy. Okay, there is no good guy. That's the grimdark lore. There is no good guy. Okay,
but there is.
There's not. But
there is. There is one good faction, and I will argue this forever.
Okay, so now we get to the point that, like, a couple of points that I want to make today is who is the goodest of the factions?
Salamanders.
No.
What?
You know what?
They killed one person by accident. The rest
First
are like,
off,
well, hold on. That man had PTSD.
Hundreds of thousands on purpose. That's not the point. No, they have more humanity than the other space marines. Absolutely. Are they better as far as being the good guy, air quotes, than some of the other chapters? Absolutely. are they still a part of the Imperium who is incredibly like xenophobic and, you know, racist? I mean, we're not talking about Black Templars, but still it applies. There's a whole bunch of the Imperium is not a good place, right?
You're right. You're right.
Like the Space Marines specifically, how do they get their ranks? They literally go and take a bunch of orphans and they, oh, you know, they didn't have a place. Let's make it worse than that because it's still true. They literally go to families and be like, hey, we showed up to your planet. We're taking the firstborn of everyone here because we need to like do a bunch of surgeries on them. And whoever lives, we need those people.
Oh, that's so screwed.
Right? Also, we're taking the firstborn of every family on this planet. Why? Because the success rate of these surgeries is like 10%. Like, yeah, that sounds like the good guy to me. Did we filter out the firstborns to see like who's most likely to survive? Nope. We just said do them all. We'll figure it out.
Do them all. Like, we'll figure it out.
Again, I'm not saying salamanders are bad, but also
good.
I don't know. There's anyone in the Imperium that's the good guy.
Do them all. We'll figure it out.
So anyway, I think there is one faction that is, let's say, the goodest of the bad guys. That is absolutely trying to be the good guy as best as theoretically as possible in this universe. I think it's that? Necrons.
Oh my God. All right.
Necrons are literally, they're like maintaining balance. They're not necessarily picking fights just to pick fights, you know, except for when they wake up on their planet and find out that everything's infested by some other race. But, you know, once they actually get moving and, you know, get a little coffee in the system, they're reasonably the good guy. They could absolutely just wipe out planet after planet on their fucking supercomputer and just be like, nope, all the shit's mine. Don't touch it. They don't do any of that. They, not currently, we'll get into this later, but they are arguably the most powerful or second most powerful faction in the game, lore-wise.
Yeah, hands down.
And they're not wielding that. Like, they are to some degree, but not as much as they could. So they sound pretty good to me. They literally talk in some of their books about how they're like, no, we're going to help the humans because Tyranids are objectively bad. We're going to literally when the fall of Cadia happened, they showed up and said, the Eye of Terror is about to become the Rift of Terror. We have technology on your planet. Start that up. We're trying to help you. Like the Imperium guys, except for the Mechanicus, because they just cared about the technology. The Imperium guys were like, no, you're Xenos. I don't absolutely trust you at all. No, I'd rather just fight him and lose. And then like the Mechanicus guys were like, you get some sweet technology. I'll play along. Like they were doing it selfishly. They still didn't even trust the Necrons. And Necrons are there arguably being the good guys of like, for the betterment of all of this galaxy, let me help you.
All right, fair enough.
I think Necrons are the good guys. Now,
I hate that.
Necrons have their own problems.
You're right.
They are even more political than the Imperium. They are so splintered. They are and were the most powerful race in the galaxy. Now there's an argument there's one that might be more powerful than them. But even amongst that, they have to be knocked down like 2 more ranks because they're too busy fighting each other over politics and dumb shit to actually be as powerful as they once were. They enslaved the star gods. They fought the only other gods at the time in the galaxy called the Old Ones and won.
That's after being completely slapped around.
That's after being those other gods that they were fighting created 2 separate races to fight against the star gods and the Necrons. They still lost.
You're right.
That's the Orcs and Eldar, for those who don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So again, most powerful race. They're too busy fighting each other, just like the Imperium, to be as effective as they should be. Okay, I'm pretty sure they're the good guys. Again, I'm not saying actually good. Nobody's the good guy. But amongst all the bad guys, they're probably the good.
The closest to good of guys.
Now, here's the next argument I'm going to make, and this is the one that got me on this whole topic. Everyone's the bad guy. everyone thinks they're the good guy. There's one exception to this rule. And they are objectively the bad guy in all of 40K. I hate, with all the passion I possess, the Iron Warriors. I hate them so much. They are the bad guy.
Does this have something to do with a book that came out?
A mountain of problems. But yes.
Yes.
It was absolutely solidified as it's no longer opinion by a single story. But also, they're still the bad guys, okay? They encompass everything that makes the Space Marines bad. Okay? They are Space Marines. So, like, they would have it regardless, right?
Yep.
Every Space Marine, except for maybe the Salamanders, is very, like, they literally see themselves as above the race that they literally are. They absolutely do war crimes for the purpose of, but because I felt like it, right? There's other factions that do that as well, right? Like the Night Lords, they just absolutely murdered people. But even the Night Lords, a lot of times are like, no, we're going to murder and slaughter everyone on this planet. But also we're doing it because there's like corruption. And while I'm definitely taking it too far, this is back when they were loyal, that is. While they were definitely taking it too far, they were like, no, but you really want to like allow corruption to exist? You want to miss someone and then have it all like fester and get worse again? Like, again, did they take it way too far? Absolutely. But also, at least they like thought they were doing it for a good reason, even if it was way too far. The Iron Warriors, literally the second only to maybe Fulgrim, were they just mountains of pride. And not like the good pride of like, look, I did a good job. Hell yeah, I can appreciate that. It's like, no, I'm better than all of you all the time. And then when I fail, I like pout about it and get upset because I have to be the best. Why didn't you let me win? Like, God, I hate the Iron Warriors. Furthermore, I think the thing that gets me personally, and I understand that this is like a personal level thing, the Iron Warriors are the most selfish of all of the chapters. Ultramarines are notorious in books about like showing up at the last second and fighting like the last 3 Tyranids on the planet and being like, we won, it was all us, you better thank us. Like, no, you didn't do shit, all right? But as much as that's true, nothing compared to the Iron Warriors. Literally, Perturabo fell to chaos, but also didn't take any of the gifts from the gods. Why? Because he's like, no, you give me the gift and I will use it as I see fit, but I will not pledge allegiance to you. There is no give and take here. It's you give or nothing. He literally was arguing with the gods who were like, I'm going to give you this incredible power as long as you like fight for me. And he's like, no, you just give it to me. And then they didn't. And he's like, well, then forget you. I'll go fight him anyway. Because that's what I want to do. He's like an unaligned demon prince right now because the chaos itself corrupted him into a demon prince and made him more powerful. But also, all 4 of the gods tried to like get him on their side. And he said no to all of them. Not because he wasn't willing to take their gifts. He absolutely said, you can give that to me. He just wasn't willing to do anything in return because he's like, no, I'm better than even you. Why would I pledge allegiance to you? I'm the greatest. Like, I'm paraphrasing all of this. Okay,
is Perturabo just gonna become a demon? A god. There you go. That's the word.
If he thought he could, he's trying. Okay? I don't know.
For those of you who aren't aware, Aaron plays 40K. Aaron doesn't read the lore for 40K. So all of these things are, wow, shiny new to me.
And again, I'm paraphrasing a lot here. Mm-hmm. And I will totally admit that there's a level of I'm biased. Because so there's a little book that you should never read called The Homunculava.
Yeah, no, you told me about that. I immediately went,
don't read it.
No.
But if you do, it's this giant body horror. There is no like sugarcoating anything. The Iron Warriors are evil. And it's so funny because like even the other Chaos chapters of like the Night Lords, the Death Guard, all of these people who are like, I love murder and I love like, look, and everyone's sick and gross and I think it's cute.
I wear their
and, like,
skin on my arm.
Yeah, all of these people look over at the Iron Warriors doing the Demunculaba thing and they all like kind of cover their eyes and look away like, I don't fuck, that's fucked up. I'm not doing that shit. Like, do you know how many of the Chaos Legions are like, our ranks are so thin, we need more people. Capture people, and then we'll do the surgeries, and like we'll give him a bile, and he can like turn them into Space Marines, and like they're desperate for people because they don't have a galaxy full of civilians that are volunteering, air quotes, to help fill their ranks. So they're like literally stealing people and against their will, turning them into Marines, and then indoctrinating them forcibly into believing the cause and this and that. All of those people doing mountains of evil stuff, looking over at the Iron Warriors being like, I would never do that. That's fucked up.
There's the line. That right there, that was the line.
That by itself. Did I mention they're the only actual bad guys in the whole universe?
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad going around. We call it Grimdark. They are so evil. Even the air quotes evil guys are like, yeah, but I'm not that guy.
I know I'm pretty bad, but I mean, I'm not that guy. Oh my God, that's so bad.
So I had this conversation with a couple of guys last week, and it was really funny because in this conversation, it like hit me. I've had this conversation several times, but I don't remember what was said, but something happened and I'm like, you know what? I think the reason I keep having this conversation and people don't like, it hits them when I explain some of this stuff isn't because like, they don't acknowledge there's bad guys, or they don't acknowledge that even bad guys think they're the good guys sometimes. It's like the Iron Warriors have some fluff about them, but there's so few people who like read other factions' lore, right? Like I'm a Space Wolf player. I love reading Space Wolf stuff. Also, as a Space Wolf player, my faction interacts with Dark Angels so often that I end up knowing a bunch about Dark Angels. And then I play Necron, so now I read a bunch of Necron stuff. But like, Iron Warriors have a very small following, and the following that is there tends to be almost strictly like, again, Horse Heresy information. There's nothing related to like the current times that, you know, a lot of those people look at them and they're just like, oh yeah, they're kind of like the Chaos version of Iron Hands, even though they're actually supposed to be the Chaos version of Imperial Fists, like in lore. So it's like, even the players themselves, like, the lore says you're supposed to be like Imperial Fists. You love building fortifications and things like that. And then half the players that play the faction are still like, no, we're like Iron Warrior or Iron Hands. No, kind of. Not exactly. Like, people just don't know enough about other people's lore. And because of that, how do you talk about who's the bad guy when I don't know shit about, what, 20 different factions? There's like 30 in the game, and I don't know shit about 20 of them. You're right, I have no idea who the bad guy is. Which is a great example of this is basically how the Imperium works, right? There's thousands of planets, and amongst those planets, there are 15 different factions fighting on behalf of the Imperium. And all of those work in like different sectors, where this sector is infested by orcs, and this sector is infested by Tyranids, and this is right on the Chaos Rift, and like all of them are like, yeah, I don't know who the bad guy is. I assume it's the guy I'm dealing with. Kind of. Yeah, they got to be dealt with, but it doesn't make them like the bad guy.
They're not the first problem.
Yeah, they're not the worst of the problems. They just are your problem.
I have had somebody make the argument a long time ago to me, the Tyranids aren't even bad. They just exist.
Yep.
And I hate that it makes sense. Because I really want them to be bad guys because they destroy everything. But the reality is they're just creatures that just destroy things.
Well, they're
it's their
literally
biological nature.
Right. It's the majority of Tyranids, with the exception of arguably the hive mind itself. But all the rest of the Tyranids are literally just like dogs with rabies, right? They literally have next to no thought. It's all instinct. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go eat it. Like that's all they know. Hey, you're threatening me. I don't want to die. I'm gonna kill you first. That's literally almost all of Tyranids. Again, you can argue the hive mind itself. That's not true, but that's how it works. I'm not saying the Tyranids are a good guy, but also, if you literally saw a dog with rabies that is so like jacked up on this instinct, can I really be mad at them for like lashing out when I like take their food away? No, I get it, man. Like, no, don't. But also, I get it. Tyranids are arguably, just moving on to the next thing. Tyranids are arguably the strongest faction in the game, even past Necrons at this point. There's enough lore to basically say that right now, the galaxy is being infested on every front by Tyranids, and they are arguably the greatest threat in the galaxy, but like this much, just barely. Also, same lore says this is the Tyranid scouting party. Oh shit! That there's some lore that basically some guy left the galaxy, came back, and said, after I left, everything I found was bugs. This is their scouting party. We're so fucked. That's literally what he came back to say. Like, according to a lot of the lore, if most of the galaxy, and I'm talking about different races and factions, if most of them do not band together to deal with the Tyranids will show up in force and roll the whole galaxy. No problem. The only way to beat them is to join forces. And to be fair, the good guys, Necrons, totally do that, right? Tyranids show up and they're like, hey, Space Marines, I know we were just fighting and I know that I absolutely want to kill you later, but also they're a problem. You're annoying. Let's work together and fix a problem.
Why is it the faction who cares the least about working together worked with the Necrons?
Because everyone acknowledges you're right. We're fucked. Let's fix the problem. Like, Tyranids are an incredible force. Orcs are a good example of like, no, in theory, orcs and Tyranids on a single planet, not that different. You could even argue that orcs are worse because as you kill them, they like give off spores and then they just regrow. So you might be safe for the next 100 years, but they're going to build back up and you have to deal with them again. Okay, well, that's, again, annoying. But also, if you kill the orcs, you got to give them time to rebuild. And when they rebuild, there will be a problem again. But if the wall doesn't get big enough, you can deal with it. Again, not unbeatable, just annoying because it keeps coming back. Tyranids, if you don't deal with it, your planet's gone. There is not a single like inhabitable place because even if you come back to it later, what's left? They literally took everything. It's not inhabitable. You have to like re-terraform the whole planet. Fuck. Like, So, arguably, Tyranids are the most powerful faction in the game. We've only seen a fraction of their power, which is why I don't know that that's true. Like, if you're looking in the Milky Way galaxy, just it. I don't know that they're the most powerful faction within the galaxy. I'm pretty sure it's Necrons. But even Necrons, not only are they busy fighting each other, but over half of their literal race is fucking dirt napping right now. They're just like, I'm too busy sleeping.
Time.
So like, we haven't even seen half of them.
There's also something to say that we haven't, like with other factions, like they're coming out with new technologies or new things.
Sure.
Necrons We don't know what they already have because they sleepy time.
Okay.
They haven't woken up all of their toys.
Right. And we know some of it, right? Like we know about the supercomputer where
Yep.
they press the delete button and then the planet just explodes because they said so. Like, I know that's oversimplifying, but that's kind of how it works, right? Necrons as a whole have basically two major problems. First off, they're too busy fighting each other. And this could also be said for the Imperium, right? Like the Imperium, back when they were unified, was literally rolling over the galaxy, planet by planet, no problem, winning battle after battle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you stopped me for an extra week here? That sucks. I'm still winning. Next. Like, the Imperium was great when it was unified. Then it literally split in half of it going to chaos. And now the other half that's still Imperium is fighting on like 6 different fronts and also fighting amongst itself. Like, obviously, the issue with all of 40K is internal conflict. But assuming people unify, Necrons are crazy, man. They've got all the technology. They are so technologically advanced. And this is my favorite part about Necrons, actually. Real life, there's a quote. It says, any technology significantly advanced enough appears to be magic by those who don't understand it. Necrons, and it was like, I think it was in like their 7th edition codex or something. There was some quote about Necrons don't believe in magic because they have enough science. They know how magic works. So like, we're all like, nope, that's warp crazy magic mind bullets. And they're like, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
They're like, nope, we know how it works. We can do the hand signals and do the same thing.
The best part is they have magical black rocks that shut the warp down.
Yeah,
They're
because
like,
again, to
no,
them,
we know what it works.
it's not magic. It's not magic. I got a little rock here that shuts it off. You know how? Because it's not magic. That's how. Take the batteries out of your flashlight. Turns off. Turns out I got this little rock. Takes all the energy out of your flashlight.
It's insane. Oh.
Again, Necrons are crazy.
I'm gonna take the fun out of your science. I'm gonna take the fun out of your magic and add science.
One of the, I think it's the Infinite and Divine, the book.
Yeah.
There's like one of the main characters is a chronomancer. So a magician, air quotes, of time. But what he does is he like astral projects, even though he's a robot, he astral projects additional arms so that he can do enough hand signals at one time to manipulate time. From his perspective, it's like, no, it's science. I needed more hands. So I used the energy of the universe to produce hands so that I could do the signals to manipulate. Like, again, to him, it's all science. I just said we're astral projecting magic. We are doing hand signals to sign language time to do something different. That's magic. Like,
it's magic.
I didn't know time was death, but also that makes a lot of sense. All right. We're giving them the old ASL of slow down.
Time is death. I'm done with this conversation.
According to the book,
Quote,
The Infinite and the Divine.
I want to
time
make
is
t-shirts now with famous quotes from Chris. One of them being, time is death.
I have a lot of dumb quotes. This is why we don't clip me. All right.
Time is death. Quote unquote, Chris. Oh, God.
All right. So before we go on, I think we do a mid break.
Okay. Good, because I don't know how to handle all this. I'm getting lore overload here. All right. So we're going to go to our mid break, and when we come back, what are we going to talk about next?
If you've seen the title of this, I think we got to talk about whose missing dad shows up next.
All right, let's head on to our mid break. Well, here we are, in the middle of the show. Chris, before we do our patrons, We were talking about merch before we went to our mid break.
I did bring that up.
You did. So exciting news. Per our lovely community's request, we are working on some merch designs as we speak.
Yeah, we're going to have a few different designs. We've got one done already. We want to get one or two more kind of together before we put them all out there, but we're working on it.
I'm ready for it. I'm so ready for these designs.
We don't have them up just yet, but soon TM. We're working on it.
Ooh. So, just so you're aware, as soon as we drop these merch designs, we will let you know first thing via post via our Discord, our Patreon, and all our social media accounts. We'll blast it up and be like, hey, merch is up. Ready for you. Well then, Chris, I think it's time for our patrons.
Yep.
You didn't say the thing.
And
Chris is supposed to say patrons. It's the only thing I show up here every week for. It's the only part of the show that I care about.
Are we becoming radical? Are we just screaming random words?
We are.
You just scream my name. I scream patron. Like,
oh no!
Just screaming into the void. I'm glad. I feel like I've come full circle.
Well, at any rate, we have to thank our patrons.
Yes.
Starting with our Guardsman patron, Sergeant Matt's Mini Minute, and our additional Guardsman patron, Andy. We also said I said words.
Sure didn't.
Speaking is hard. English is harder. We also have to thank our White Shield Guardsman patron, Mitch, Nicodemus, Tiburus, and Captain Beefalo. And of course, our Servo Skull patrons, Dez and Renee. So thank you to our patrons. We love you. Without you and all of your lovely support, I wouldn't get to hear Chris say patrons every week.
Without you, I would be screaming into the void for no purpose instead of some purpose.
You're right. And thank you to our listeners, because again, without you, Chris would be screaming into a void, which isn't any different than what he already does, but
that's how it feels.
At least you're there to catch it. At least you're there to listen. Well, that being said, Chris, we have some other news. We do. We have some new releases coming.
Oh, okay.
What was the other new? You took a long drawn pause. You were like, I don't want to tell anybody. What's this other secret news?
I don't know. You're like, we got news. We got to tell them. Like, whatever it is, I didn't do it. Okay. I have an alibi. I don't know for when, but I have it. It's fine.
This poor man. No, our other news is we've had some hot drops. All right. They've thrown all kinds of stuff at us and we're like, it's coming soon. And then soon is here. Boom.
Okay.
Red Corsairs.
First off, I'm glad we got it. Secondly, what the hell, GW? Okay, so there's a lot coming out in the same week. Good Christmas. I feel like, and I'm speculating, I'm not saying this is true in any way. While we haven't gotten our allocation numbers yet, by the time you're listening to this, we'll totally have it up on the website. Go check it out, 15% off. But I feel like the reason they're throwing so much stuff at us at once is to like distract us from how short the printings are. Of like, no, we're going to run out fast. But also there's like 12 things this week. So like, nah, it's fine.
I know.
I don't know. I don't understand why there's like 12 things one week and then like nothing the next week. I mean, there's still things, but like there's like 2 Old Worlds things. Or 12 40K thing. Calm down. Also, I know they spoiled this a while ago, but I would like to point out that they have had spoilers that were back in November for like, where's the new Votan guy? Where's the new, like, why are we still waiting on him? But I'm getting the Votan Combat Patrol that's not called Combat Patrol. Shouldn't they come out together?
Yeah, we still haven't got the Votan guy. We still haven't got the Tyrannid Whip And Nene.
There's a bunch of stuff they spoiled. And some of this stuff.
We haven't got the twins yet.
Yeah. Like a lot of this stuff has actually been spoiled after those things. So like, I don't know when to expect this stuff.
Yeah.
Like I know people ask me all the time of like, oh, when are we going to get that? Like, I got no clue. And even if I had a clue, I'm clearly wrong. Like,
yep. Well, currently we've got all these new Iron Hand announcements and
I think we've actually found everything. Like everything's been spoiled. We had like the little squares of like, here's part of the image or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like the smokestacks that I thought were a Mauler Fiend are actually the Defiler. Like I think we've gotten everything now. Now, again, I don't know when it's going to go for pre-order.
You're right.
But they've clarified what everything is. But yeah. So anyway, this week we've got multiple pseudo combat patrols with the Votan and Drukhari. We have 2 big battle forces. The battle forces are crazy impressive, I would like to say. I mean, it's a battle force, so it's not a cheap price point to get into, but the fact that almost the entire box is new sculpt for both of them, like there is repeat stuff, but it's almost entirely new sculpt.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they kind of snuck in some news in there in like the Warhammer community post. So like for the Eldari, the Venom, not only is it a new Venom for them, but it's coming with the bits. So it's actually not just the Venom for Eldari. It also builds the Harlequin Venom equivalent. And it's unclear as to whether or not it's going to build the Drukhari one. I don't necessarily think it will. But the fact that they're like taking separate kits and combining them together so that we have less kits to deal with and have extra bits as players. Super excited about that. They just kind of glossed right over that one.
Yep. Also, I need a knitted blanket.
That is a separate thing. I don't know if I'll have that on the website,
right.
But also it is cool.
It is cool. I need a knitted blanket.
In addition to that, there's a bunch of Black Library books between Alpha Legion and Deathcore Krieg, and there's another one here on Blackheart. Plus, we're getting the models for here on Blackheart, along with the his little cadre of dudes, kind of like Titus and Wardens. Now we have Blackheart and Friends.
Blackheart and Friends.
Well, I don't know what they're called off the top of my head, but yeah.
The Masters of the Maelstrom.
But is that what the data sheet's going to be called?
The Masters of the Maelstrom, yeah.
That name's less catchy.
Or maybe it's not. Hold on. Maybe that's the title they gave.
I think that's the name of the box.
Maybe that is the name of the box.
I don't know that the data sheet is called Masters of the Maelstrom.
Maybe it's Command Squad. Because it says here, flanked by a Command Squad.
First off, that's boring. Get a better name.
No. Okay, no, apparently it's Huron Blackheart and the Masters of the Maelstrom can be fielded as 2 distinct units. That's apparently what the box name is going to be.
Okay.
The data sheet's also going to be Masters of Maelstrom.
I was hoping for it to be a little more catchy, but...
Can I just say there's only one model in that box that I absolutely want for Blood Angels?
Okay, first off, several of those models look very cool, but also they're chaos. Don't do it.
There's
Icky.
one, and I only want it because it's a skull. He got skulls.
Icky. Stop it.
Oh, but he's got the power axe and the skulls, and he could very get bashed into a Blood Angel chaplain. I'm just saying.
Also, I feel like they're kind of trying to get Age of Sigmar players into the game with this release because they gave the Masters of the Maelstrom a doggo.
They did. I've heard nothing but bad things about that data sheet, the doggo data sheet.
Yeah, but it's a doggo model. Let me tell you how, like, you play the Sigmarines. Well, there's like 6 different data sheets that come with the little Griffhound, and like, I'm not saying it's actually 6, but there's a lot of doggos. And then they gave a little doggo to the Inquisitorial Agents unit, and everybody loves that unit, mostly for the doggo. It doesn't matter that it's bad. It's like, no, but there's a doggo. Like
the doggo. Oh my god. At any rate, you can get all of these from us. Next week, the pre-orders will be going live at noon Central Time on our website.
Yep. By the time you're listening to this, it'll be this week.
Yeah, it'll be this week, yeah.
Yeah.
So this Saturday, going live noon Central Time, and 15% off all the time. So grab whatever you are looking for. So with that being said, Chris, do you have anything else for our lovely little mid-break? We went on a rant about these models. I'm still telling you, I want that one for a chaplain. I just want the one. I don't care about the rest.
It's heresy. I refuse. No, that's all I've got.
Right. Well, with that being said, let's head back to the end of our episode. Chris! It's the last part of our episode.
Okay, so
we're yelling.
We got to talk about Dad, how he's coming back with the cigarettes.
Who, my dad? My dad's finally coming back?
No, not your dad. Okay,
it's
so
just like real life.
I don't. We're talking about lore today, and I don't like doing speculation because I hate.
I want to caveat this with Chris 100% will fight me. This man will fist fight me if I say I want to talk about anything speculation. Insert here. He says no. We are only facts. So for this man to give you speculations at this point, I need you to understand.
Right. We're ending the episode. I'm done. I don't want to talk about it.
He is giving you more than you will ever get.
And I'm going to start by saying, I don't know. There's a bunch of rumors. There's a bunch of like maybes. Maybe it's Lion. Maybe it's Perturabo. Maybe it's like, we don't know. That being said, lore wise, I think I'm going to start by saying there are a handful of them that can come back, right? It's not just those two.
Yeah.
There are several that they could just decide to bring back at any time, right? Like Vulcan, you got to complete the Dragon Ball quest, but also
you did it. Yeah.
Any time. Like Kasera Khan, the Corvex, like they could just decide to show up to some degree. Even there's a solid line. I also really like that book, but there's a solid line where the Emperor is talking to Malkador. This is obviously mid-heresy about how he knows that like Ferrus Manus is dead. And the Emperor makes a side comment of like, yeah, I'll bring him back when I need him. Like, that's not exactly what he says, but that's basically what he means. He's just like, I can put him back on the chessboard whenever I feel like. Hey, we can totally get Ferrus Manus. Is that going to happen first? Absolutely not. They're probably going to do the much easier ones first. Dragon Ball Quest is way easier to get through than the Emperor, who is maybe dead, maybe alive, deciding to actively bring back someone who is for sure dead. Like, I don't know. On a real world perspective, I hope and pray that it is going to be an Imperial Primarch, because right now, outnumbered 2-1.
You're right.
If you include non-actual Primarchs, but like Primarch equivalents for other factions, it's like 3-1. We have 2 Imperial Primarchs, Guilliman and Lion. That's it. The fact that most of our lore is from the Imperial perspective, and there are 4 Chaos Primarchs. Again, arguably more, because like Be'lakor is absolutely the Primarch of the demons, and like there's a whole bunch of others.
You got Abaddon, who's like not Primarchy, but definitely acts like he's a Primarch because he's got all the power-ups.
So not only does he act like a Primarch, but also there's an argument to he kind of is. There's a lot of speculation and rumor about the idea that in lore, he is like the Avatar. He is going to be possessed by Horus to some degree. Now, maybe he's not actually Horus, right? But like, no, he's got all the marks of all 4 gods. He's like went from being some low-level captain to like the leader of the Black Legion way quicker than he probably should have. How did he get so powerful so quickly? Well, we're going to blame the marks for that. Well, okay, sure, maybe, but also, why did all 4 gods just agree that like, nope, you're the cool guy now, and we'll all agree to work together? Like, There's something else to that. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of, we could get anybody, but I really hope for the balance of the game and for the benefit of like our lore books and things like that, I really hope it's Imperial. And if that's the case, the most likely answer is wolves, but also, again, is still several options. And I think whoever it is going to be involved in the shift between 10th to 11th edition. I don't know if we're going to get it at the end of this Maelstrom campaign, still technically 10th going into 11th. That's how they did it with Angron, if I remember correctly. Like, very last codex of the edition, here's World Eaters, here's Angron, we're moving on to the next edition. There's been other ones where it's been the very beginning of the edition. So I'm pretty sure we got Mortarion right at the very beginning of the edition as like the second or third codex. So I don't know if it's going to be beginning of 11th or not, but it's going to be around there, I think, that we get our next one.
So here's a hot take from me. You ready for this? I don't know much about the lore, but I do know that from what I've been told and what I've seen, Imperium is constantly on the back pedal.
Pretty much.
Constantly always on the back pedal, constantly outnumbered, constantly. We're not going to change that. So when it starts to feel like we kind of have a leg up on Chaos, perfect time to introduce yet another Demon Primarch and put Imperium right back on the back foot, especially when they're going to try to push more Chaos, it seems.
Well, I think they're really setting up for a solid redemption arc, right? Because they we've got Gilliman back. As a part of getting Gilliman back, the Chaos is actually winning because the Eye of Terror turned into the Rift of Terror. Okay, so despite getting Gilliman back, we're losing. Add more Chaos Primarch, add more Chaos Primarch. We get the Lion. We get the Lion back, and he takes forever to even meet up with Gilliman to get a plan going. Well, now they've got a plan, and that plan is still just try to stabilize. We're not even trying to win the war. We're trying to not lose every battle we fight.
Yep.
Again, they are setting this whole thing up as, I don't care that we have two Primarchs. They have never been in a winning position yet.
But again, adding Perdrabo before they even get to an Imperium Primarch on the tabletop, again, would
I hope not.
solidify that back pedal, that it would solidify that feel, especially for the Imperium players. Boy, howdy, are we outnumbered and we don't get any love. For them to then drop Russ.
And see, but what's crazy to me is in the lore, right? There was a really strong argument we were actually going to get Russ before Lion, because Lion and Gilliman tend to not like each other. And I'm not saying that the Russ and Gilliman would have got along better, but for the most part, Gilliman's seen as like the leader guy, right? He even wants to be the leader guy. So having Russ come back and being like, no, I'm totally willing to like take orders from you and follow you because my job is to go fix problems via violence. Like, that kind of made some amount of sense. The fact that we knew Angron was coming, and there's a ton of lore between Russ and Angron. It made a lot of sense that we were getting Russ. We ended up getting Lion. And now maybe, we don't know, right? But maybe there was some production issue and it was supposed to be Russ first, and because of production issue, we wanted Lion. Maybe they decided the whole time it was going to be Lion because they wanted this, like, we want to bring someone back, but we don't want them working together just yet because we're trying to set up this redemption arc. That's why we went with Lion.
Yep.
Okay, cool. No problems. But at this point, we have Angron, we have Fulgrim. Like, Russ has so much available lore with these characters. And that's just with the Chaos side of things, as far as him fighting things. He also has a mountain of lore involved in Gilliman and Lion. Like, there's, I would argue to some degree, there's no other Primarch that's going to have as much like connection to the two already back than Russ. Like, don't get me wrong, if Vulcan comes back, he's absolutely going to be like, we're brothers, we have a connection, we're totally working together. Like, I'm not saying that won't exist, but I'm saying there's way more already built for like, but Lion and Russ already have this like rivalry. The Lion and Gilliman already have this like mutual understanding of like, we don't like each other, but we both acknowledge that we are way better than each other at specific tasks. We'll respect each other for that reason. Like, again, every Primarch has this to some degree, but some of them are more, let's say, less emotional about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sure Vulcan acknowledges that Gilliman has a place. I'm not saying he doesn't, but also the like difference between like, yeah, I couldn't do that. You need to go do that, Gilliman. You can't do this thing that I can do. I need to go do that. Vulcan and Gilliman are going to be more like, yeah, we could both do it. You can do a little better. So you take care of that. That's fine. Like, see, that's very different to me as far as like that crazy in-depth, like passionate story stuff. So
again, it all comes down to, again, I think as much as you hate it, I think we're going to get another Chaos Primarch before we get anything, just to make everyone feel like they're on the back pedal so hard.
See, but I feel
and
like...
then Russ is going to come in and be like, I'm cleaning this shit up.
Don't get me wrong. I would love to be the hero of the story, but also that makes no sense to me. And I say that for like multiple reasons. Again, every time we've got an Imperial Primarch, the story has, despite them winning a fight, like, right, like Gilliman fought Mortarion and won. Also, as far as the overarching story, not like the individual characters, but like the Imperium as a whole, Gilliman shows up, we're losing. Lion shows up, we're still losing. Like we have been on the back pedal since 7th edition, arguably 8th, because it was like end of 7th.
Mm-hmm.
But like Imperium's been on the back pedal for 3 editions. Like,
it's about time
how back pedal do we need to be?
Well, I think we can agree that it's probably Russ that's coming back.
If
any of
so.
them, it's
Again,
Russ.
No clue, but I really hope so.
I do like the fact, though, that at any point in time, Papa Imp can go, yeah, I know my kid died, but snap, he's back.
And again, I don't know that that's actually true. He made a comment in a book, and maybe that's just some sly comment about like, no, Fulgrim still, or not Fulgrim, Ferrus Manus like still exists in spirit in the warp and is going to help him fight there. So I don't know, right? Like, I'm not saying he's actually coming back, but there's just a line I know about that was very kind of pointed at. I could still, like, he's still going to interact in some way at some point. Presumably he comes back to life, right? Because we're talking about the material realm and that's what we care about. But I hope we get Russ. We're working on 500 Worlds and Maelstrom, and we're getting these new factions, and don't get me wrong, I love it. But also, I think what's going to actually progress the storyline is the Primarchs. And that's a little unfortunate, right? Because I would love to progress the storylines in relation to Necrons or whatever else, or the Tyranids even, because I think for lack of a better term, the end times are going to be related to the Imperium, or to the Tyranid, excuse me. So like, I think that's the end of the game, is Tyranids show up and we all put our differences aside and fix a problem, or we don't and we all lose to the Tyranids. Obviously, they're never really going to get to that because they're going to keep building that up and they don't want to kill the game off, right? There would be no reason to do that.
Yeah.
But as we build up to that, focus of the story has been Imperium versus Chaos, and Xenos are like this side problem. And you're right. Imperium always is on the back foot because all the stories are everyone's against the Imperium. The Imperium is fighting on all fronts at basically all times. When Chaos and Xenos fight each other, that's like we ran into each other. I guess we'll fight because we're already here. It wasn't like I was going after you, right? Mm-hmm. Like, there's no Chaos Legion that's actively like, I want to go kill all the Tau. No, if I run into the Tau, I'll totally kill him. But also, like, That's not my goal, right? Oh, Votan are back. Well, there's no like, yeah, well, the Imperium thinks that the Votan are like this giant problem. We need to put all this other stuff aside. Like, no, the Imperium is like, I'm struggling to survive. I'm on the back foot. Everywhere I turn is another battle. And then basically every faction that isn't Imperium is like, Imperium's my primary goal, right? Like the Tau are probably the only ones that Tau and Votan, I guess, are the only two that aren't actively like, I want to go wreck the Imperium. The Tau know that the Imperium exists, but they're like, I need to confederate more things. I don't have the power to go fight the Imperium. And the Votan are, at this point, the new lore is basically they're just hard mercenaries. So while they're not pro-Imperium, they're also not anti-Imperium. They're just like, I'm mostly on the side of the Imperium when given the choice. But I'm just here to do a job. So like, what you need, Xenos? Pay me.
Pay me in creds.
and again, I think they're mostly, I haven't read all the Votan stuff, but I think they're mostly doing mercenary work for the Imperium themselves.
Yeah.
So like, it's not even, again, it's not that they're like pro-Imperium. They're just kind of, no, I'm totally willing to work with you because you're paying me.
Well, with that being said, I think that brings us to the end of the episode.
Yep. I hate speculating, but also I think I've had so many questions about what like is 11th edition going to entail. And we're already talking about lore, so I wanted to keep it kind of on the lore side. We could, in theory, at some point do a hopes and dreams for 11th, but I don't know. I'm a little on the fence because most of my hopes is that we just don't make the same mistakes as 10th. And to be fair, 10th was very good. The very beginning was a little rough with Eldari, but other than that, 10th edition was pretty great. As much as that's true, I think we could do some things better, obviously. But that's for another time.
Well, for this time, thank you all for listening. Tune in next week.
Bye.
Hey everybody, it's Aaron. I want to thank you again for tuning in for this episode of Gopher's Workshop with us, hanging out and listening. Remember, leave a 5-star review. Let us know what you think. And if you feel like supporting us, you can always go to Patreon in the show notes below. Thanks. Till next time.